In the vast darkness of space, far beyond the reach of Earth's known borders, a small ship named Aurora floated silently. It was a human exploration vessel, tasked with searching for new worlds and new life. On board, Captain Leo stood by the window of the bridge. He watched the stars pass slowly as the ship moved forward. Leo was a calm man with a strong sense of duty. He believed in humanity and its future among the stars. The crew trusted him. Around him, the ship's sun was soft but steady. The Aurora was equipped with the latest technology, but space was still a place of mystery and danger. Suddenly, the quiet was broken by a sound from the communication room. A sharp beep echoed through the ship's speakers. Mira, the communications officer, looked up from her console. Her eyes widened. She saw something strange on her screen. "Captain," she said quickly, "I am receiving a signal. It is faint, but it is definitely artificial. Someone out there is sending a message." Leo moved to her side. The bridge crew gathered around, curiosity growing. Omar, the ship's science officer, joined them. He was known for his sharp mind and careful thinking. "What kind of signal?" Leo asked. Mira explained. "It is repeating in a pattern. It looks like a call for help, but I'm not sure from whom. The language or code is unknown. It does not match any known signals from Earth or our colonies." Omar stared at the data. "This could be the most important discovery we have made. In yours, we must investigate carefully." The Aurora changed course slowly. The signal grew stronger as they moved closer. The star system it came from was distant and mostly unexplored. It was a cold, lonely place with many dangers. The crew felt the weight of what they faced. Answering a cry for help could bring great reward or great risk. That evening, the crew gathered in the mess hall. The hum of conversation was filled with hope and fear. Mira told them about the signal and how it repeated every 10 minutes. It was a steady call, like a heartbeat in space. Leo stood and spoke to the crew. "We have a choice. We can ignore the signal and continue our mission, or we can answer it and try to help whoever sent it. This may be dangerous, but it is who we are as humans to reach out and help." A young engineer named Rena raised her hand. "Captain, I believe we should answer. If someone needs help, we must not leave them alone." Another crew member, Paul, nodded. "It could be a trap. We must be careful." Leo smiled gently. "Caution is wise, but we will prepare carefully and proceed with respect. We do not know what awaits us, but we will face it together." The ship's systems worked late into the night. Omar and Mira studied the signal closely. They tried to decode it, searching for a way to understand the message. It was unlike anything they had seen before. Strange symbols and patterns filled the screen. Suddenly, a new voice came through the speaker. It was weak, but clear. "Help, please save us." The words sent a shiver through the crew. The voice was not human. It was soft, almost musical, but filled with fear. The message repeated with growing urgency. Leo stood tall. "This is real. Someone out there needs help. We will not turn away." The next day, the Aurora moved faster. Toward the source, the star system came into view. It was a small blue planet circling a red sun. It looked beautiful, but fragile. Mira continued to listen to the signals. She learned some words and sounds. The language was strange but showed signs of intelligence and hope. As the ship approached, sensors detected signs of life on the planet, but it was weak and scattered. The surface showed signs of destruction. Cities were broken and silent. Leo called a meeting with the senior crew. "We must prepare to land and make contact. We do not know what we will find, but we must be ready to help." Omar added, "We should also be ready for danger. If someone sent this signal, they may be under threat." The crew trained and planned. They studied the planet's surface, its weather, and terrain. The Aurora carried small vehicles and tools for exploration. That night, Leo looked out at the stars again. He thought about the message and the beings who sent it. They had reached across the darkness, hoping for rescue. Humanity was answering that hope. He whispered to himself, "We will not let them down." The Aurora moved steadily closer to the distant planet. The signal that had drawn the ship here grew stronger with every mile. Captain Leo stood on the bridge, watching the glowing blue world rotate slowly beneath the red sun. The planet looked quiet, but the message they had received was a desperate call for help. Inside the ship, the crew worked hard. Mira studied the signal's pattern, trying to understand the language. Omar examined the planet's surface with scanners, searching for signs of life and danger. The rest of the crew prepared equipment and vehicles for the landing. Leo called a meeting with the senior officers. "We must decide soon if we will answer the call," he said. "This could change everything for us, but it is also a great risk. We do not know what awaits on that planet." Mira nodded. "The message is clear. Someone needs help. I can translate some parts now. They speak of enemies and loss. They are scared but hopeful." Omar added, "The planet shows signs of damage. Cities are broken, and life is sparse. This is not a simple rescue. We will need to be ready for anything." The crew listened quietly. Each person knew the weight of the choice: help a distant, unknown race, or turn back to safety. Rena, the young engineer, spoke up. "Captain, if we do not help, who will? Humanity has the strength and courage to answer this call. We cannot ignore it." Paul, the security officer, replied, "But we must be cautious. We do not know if this is a trap. The enemy they speak of might come for us too." Leo considered their words carefully. "We will take every precaution, but I believe this is the right path. Humanity was born to explore and to help. We will go." The crew prepared to land on the planet. They gathered their gear and checked the small exploration vehicles. Mira continued to listen to the signal, learning more about the beings who sent it. That night, Leo spoke to Mira in private. "What do you know about them now?" Mira showed him the translations. "They call themselves the Korra. Their language is different from anything we know, but it carries emotion and hope. They have suffered greatly, but they still believe in help." Leo nodded. "Then we must not fail them." The next morning, the Aurora entered the planet's atmosphere. The ship shook slightly as it passed through clouds of red dust. Outside, the world was strange and beautiful. Tall, thin trees with blue leaves swayed in the wind. Mountains rose in the distance, their peaks hidden in mist. The landing site was near a ruined city. The buildings were tall and curved, but many were broken and crumbled. Smoke rose from fires still burning low. The air was thin but breathable. Leo, Mira, Omar, Rena, and Paul formed the first landing team. They stepped out of the ship in light suits, their helmets shining under the red sun. The ground was soft and warm beneath their feet. The silence was deep, broken only by the faint crackle of radios. They moved carefully toward the city dot. As they walked, Mira kept listening to the signal. It came from deeper in the city, near what seemed like a large tower. The message was still a call for help, but now carried a hint of fear. Suddenly, the team heard a noise. It was soft at first, then louder. Voices spoke in the Korra language. Mira tried to respond in simple phrases using what she had learned. To their surprise, small figures appeared from the shadows. They were the Korra. They had long limbs and smooth skin that shimmered in the light. Their eyes were large and bright with intelligence and sadness. One of them stepped forward. He looked old but strong. Mira tried to say, "We come to help." The Korra leader nodded slowly. He spoke in broken words of English, learned from the signal. "Help, thank, enemy, come soon." Leo stepped forward. "We are here to protect you. Tell us what happened." The Korra leader told them how their world was attacked by a cruel enemy. The enemy destroyed their cities and drove their people into hiding. The survivors sent the signal, hoping someone would hear. Omar examined the Korra's weapons and technology. It was old but showed great skill. They were advanced ones. "This enemy is dangerous." Leo looked at the faces around him. The Korra were tired and afraid, but they still wanted to fight for their home. "We will help you," Leo promised. "But first, we must learn more about this enemy and how to defend this world." The Korra led the team deeper into the city. They showed places of battle and loss. The scars on the land told stories of war and destruction. That evening, back on the Aurora, Leo spoke to his crew. "This is only the beginning. We must be strong, smart, and united. The Korra trusted us. By sending their call, we must answer with courage. Mira smiled softly. It feels good to help, to show that humans care. Rena nodded. And we have much to learn from them, Omar added. This is more than a rescue mission. It is a chance to build something new together. Leo looked out the window at the red sun setting over the ruined city. The path ahead was hard and full of danger, but hope was alive in the hearts of both humans and Korra. He whispered to himself. One cry for help echoed across space, and humanity answered from the skies. The next morning on the planet, the sky was painted with soft red and orange colors. The sun rose slowly above the mountains, casting long shadows over the ruined city. Captain Leo stood with Mira, Omar, and the Korra leader in a small clearing. The air was cool, but it carried a strange mix of hope and danger. The Korra leader's name was Raul. His voice was calm but tired. We live here now, he said, pointing to the broken buildings. Our people hide underground or in small groups. The enemy took our homes. Leo looked at the city carefully. We need to find where the survivors are. We must help them and learn more about this enemy. Raul nodded. Come with me. I will show you. The group followed Raul through narrow streets and crumbled towers. The city was silent except for the sound of their footsteps. Some buildings had strange marks, like claw scratches or strange symbols. The scars of battle were clear. Suddenly, they reached a large entrance carved into the side of a hill. Raul opened a heavy door, and inside, warm light shone from lamps. The group entered a network of tunnels and rooms below the surface. This was the Korra's refuge. Inside, the air was filled with quiet voices and movement. Families and children moved through the tunnels, some curious, others fearful. Leo could see pain in their eyes, but also strength. Raul introduced Leo and his team to the leaders of the survivors. One was a woman named Sira. She was young but fierce, with sharp eyes and steady hands. Welcome, she said. We heard your ship. We hope you can help us. Leo smiled kindly. We are here to help. Tell us what happened and what you need. Sira led them to a large room where maps and plans were spread on a table. Our world was attacked by a group we call the Mara. They are strong and cruel. They want to take this planet for themselves. Omar studied the maps. Where are they now? Sira pointed to an area beyond the mountains. They camp nearby. Their ships circle above. We cannot fight them alone. Leo's heart tightened. The situation was worse than he imagined. We must prepare a defense. We have technology and skills that might help, Raul added. The Mara destroyed our defenses long ago. We have old machines buried in the city. Maybe we can repair them. Leo turned to his crew. This is our chance to show who we are. We will help rebuild their defenses and protect their people. Mira smiled. It will be hard, but we are not alone now. Over the next days, the Aurora team worked closely with the Korra. Omar and Rena searched the ruined city for old technology. They found strange machines and weapons, covered in dust but still functional. Omar's hands moved quickly as he repaired circuits and tested engines. This tech is different, but brilliant, he said. We can use it to build defenses and alarms. Mira continued to learn the Korra language and customs. She spoke with children and elders, sharing stories and laughter. Slowly, the walls between species began to fall. Leo coordinated the efforts. He worked with Paul and the Korra fighters to train the survivors. We will teach you to defend your home, he said. Together, we are stronger. At night, Leo stood on a hill overlooking the city. The red sun had set, and the stars shone bright. He thought about the message that had brought them here. One cry for help echoing across space. He knew this was more than a mission. It was a chance for humanity to show its true spirit, courage, kindness, and strength in the face of darkness. One evening, a scout came running to the camp. Captain, Mara ships are moving closer, he warned. They will attack soon. Leo gathered his team. We have little time. Prepare the defenses. We will face this threat together. The people worked through the night, setting traps and repairing weapons. The Aurora's advanced systems helped boost the core's old machines. Lights flickered on walls, and alarms sounded in the distance as dawn broke. The red sky was filled with shapes, the Mara fleet arriving, dark and threatening. But the people of the planet were ready. Leo stood beside Ral and Sierra. This is our home now. We fight for it. The battle was about to begin. The first light of dawn barely touched the ruined city when the warning alarms began to echo through the tunnels and streets. Captain Leo stood with the core leaders Ral and Sierra, their faces tense but determined. Outside, the sky glowed a dull red, and the shapes of enemy ships dark and menacing hovered above the planet like a storm ready to breed. Mira stood beside Leo, watching the horizon through the reinforced windows of the Aurora. Her fingers moved quickly over the controls, scanning for the exact positions of the enemy fleet. Omar was nearby, analyzing the data from the planet's surface and the enemy ship's movements. The Mara fleet is large and well-armed, Omar said quietly. They are coming in waves. Their ships have powerful weapons, but their shields show some weaknesses. We can use that, Leo nodded. We have to act fast. Our allies here have been hiding and running for too long. It is time to stand and fight. On the ground, Paul and Rena helped the core of fighters prepare. The survivors were nervous but ready. They gathered ancient weapons repaired by Omar and new ones crafted from human technology. The soldiers practiced their moves under Paul's watchful eye. Ral walked through the groups of fighters, encouraging them with quiet words, "Our home, our future." He said, "We fight not just for ourselves, but for those who come after." Sierra led a team working on a network of defense turrets around the city. These machines, once silent for many years, began to hum as Omar and Rena finished their repairs. Lights blinked on panels, and weapons rose to their positions inside the Aurora. Leo sent a message to Earth. His voice was steady. "This is Captain Leo of the Aurora. We have found the Cora, a people in need. We face the Mara enemy now. Request immediate support and reinforcements." There was no immediate reply. Earth was far, and help might take time. Leo knew they had to hold the line on their own for now. As the enemy ships drew closer, the sky was filled with flashes of light. The Mara began their attack, sending waves of smaller fighters to the ground. The battle was fierce from the start. On the surface, the core fighters fought bravely. Paul led a squad to protect the city's core, using quick moves and clever tactics. The ancient weapons, powered up by Omar's modifications, struck back hard against the enemy fighters. Mira communicated between the groups, coordinating movements and calling for support. Her voice was calm but firm. "Alpha Team, hold your position. Beta Team, flank from the east." Leo watched from the Aurora's bridge, feeling the tension but also hope. The humans and Cora were working as one, their courage shining against the dark threat. Suddenly, a large Mara ship appeared, dropping heavy weapons onto the city. Buildings shook, and dust filled the air. The defenders pressed on, but the enemy's power was overwhelming. Omar called out, "Captain, the Mara's main ship has a weakness in its shield at the rear. If we can get close enough, we might disable it." Leo made a quick decision. "Rena, Paul, take a small team and try to reach that ship. Use the old tunnels to get close." Rena nodded, her face set with determination. "We will do our best." The team moved quickly through the underground passages. The tunnels were dark and dangerous, but they offered a hidden path to strike the enemy. Above, the battle raged on. The core fighters and humans held their ground despite heavy losses. The spirit of the defenders inspired everyone to fight harder. Back in the tunnels, Rena's team reached the surface near the Mara ship's rear. They planted explosives and prepared to attack. Their hearts beat fast, but fear did not stop them. With a loud explosion, the Mara ship's shield flickered and failed for a moment. Rena's team slipped away as the enemy scrambled to repair the damage. The Aurora crew seized the chance. Leo ordered a counterattack. The Aurora's weapons fired on the Mara ships, targeting their weak points. The core defense turrets joined in, their beams cutting through enemy fighters. The Mara fleet faltered but was not defeated. They regrouped and launched a new wave of attack. The battle continued for hours. The sky was filled with light and smoke. The ground trembled with explosions. The humans and Korra fought side by side, their teamwork growing stronger with each moment. As night fell, the enemy finally began to retreat. The defenders cheered. But they knew the fight was not over. The Mara would return, and they needed more help. Leo looked at the stars, feeling both pride and worry. Humanity had answered the cry for help from the skies. Now, they had to hold on and prepare for what came next. The battle had left the city battered but alive. The sky was now clear, with stars shining bright above the broken towers and the repaired defenses. Captain Leo stood on the hill overlooking the city alongside Raoul, Sierra, and the rest of the Aurora crew. The victory was hard-earned, but the Mara threat was far from gone. Mira scanned the horizon, still listening for any signs of the enemy fleet. "They have retreated for now," she said quietly, "but they will come back. We need to be ready." Omar nodded. "Their ships are damaged, but not destroyed. They will return with more forces." Leo turned to the Korra leaders. "We cannot wait for the next attack. We must make our stand here. This planet is their home. We will protect it." Raoul's eyes shone with determination. "Our people will fight. We will not give up." The team began to rebuild the city's defenses. Omar and Rena worked tirelessly to upgrade the ancient machines. They combined human technology with Korra designs, creating new weapons and stronger shields. The Aurora helped by supplying parts and energy. On the ground, Paul trained the Korra fighters. "You have courage," he told them. "Now you need skill. Learn to move fast, strike hard, and never lose hope." Sarah led efforts to care for the wounded and rebuild homes. She inspired the survivors with her strength. "This is our home," she said. "We will make it live again." As days passed, the bond between humans and Korra grew stronger. They shared stories, traditions, and hopes for the future. Mira often sat with the children, teaching them words from Earth's languages while learning the Korra songs. One evening, Leo called a meeting in the Aurora. The team gathered around a holographic map showing the planet and the nearby space. "We have found new information," Omar began. "The Mara have a base on a nearby moon. From there, they control their fleet and plan attacks." Leo pointed at the map. "If we can strike there, we may stop their attacks before they reach this planet." Raoul and Sierra agreed. "It is dangerous," Raoul said, "but it may be our best chance," Mira added. "We also learn more about their language. We might be able to send a message to their people, those who do not want war." Leo smiled. "That is the human way. We fight when needed, but we also seek peace." The team planned carefully. Rena and Omar prepared ships and weapons for the mission. Paul trained a special team to join the attack. When the day came, the Aurora and its allies moved quietly through space toward the moon. The Mara base was heavily guarded with shields and weapons. The attack began with a surprise strike. The defenders were caught off guard. Omar directed the weapons fire, while Paul led the ground team. The battle was fierce. The Mara fought with desperation, but the humans and Korra fought with hope and unity. Inside the base, Mira and Rena worked together to disable the enemy's control systems. Their quick thinking and teamwork helped turn the battle. After hours of fighting, the Mara base was captured. The enemy fleet lost its command, and many ships retreated. Leo looked around at his tired but proud team. "This is our victory, but also our message. We will protect those who need help back on the planet." The Korra people cheered. Their hope was renewed. They began rebuilding their cities with new strength. Leo stood with Raoul and Sierra under them. "Bright stars. Humanity answered a cry for help," he said. "And together, we made a stand." The future was still uncertain, but the bond between humans and Korra promised a new dawn for both. The days following the victory at the Mara base were filled with hard work and hope. The Korra people, once broken and afraid, now stood taller with new strength and courage. Captain Leo and the Aurora crew worked side by side with the Korra to rebuild not only their city, but their lives. Mira walked through the streets of the city, her heart warmed by the sight of children playing and families sharing meals. The air was filled with the sound of laughter and song, a sharp contrast to the silence that had ruled before. She met Sira near a new garden, where plants were growing green and strong. "This place is alive again," Mira said with a smile. Sira nodded. "Your people helped us find hope. We are grateful." Meanwhile, Omar and Rena continued to improve the city's defenses. The machines they repaired were stronger now, thanks to the mix of human and Cora technology. They tested new energy shields that could protect homes and streets from attacks. Paul trained Cora fighters in new tactics. The lessons went beyond battle skills. He taught them about trust, teamwork, and courage. The fighters learned quickly, proud to defend their home with new strength. One evening, Leo gathered the leaders of the humans and Cora in the Aurora's command room. The holographic star map glowed softly as they discussed their future. "We have sent messages to Earth," Leo said. "Reinforcements are on the way, but it will take time." Ral added, "We must stand strong together. This planet and its people depend on us." Mira looked at the map. "We have also learned much about the Mara. Their people are not all enemies. Some want peace but are afraid to speak." Leo smiled. "That is why we must keep talking. Strength comes from understanding." The alliance between humans and Cora grew beyond the battlefield. They shared their cultures, stories, and dreams. The Aurora became a home for all, a place where the races learned from each other. One day, a group of Mara defectors approached the city, seeking refuge and peace. Leo and Ral met them with open hands. "These people want to stop the fighting," Leo said. "We will listen." The city welcomed the new rivals carefully, offering help and safety. The fragile peace was a sign that change was possible. As time passed, the combined forces of humans, Cora, and Mara defectors built a new future. The planet healed, and its people grew stronger and wiser. Leo stood on the highest tower with Mira and Ral, looking out over the city. The stars shone brightly, and the red sun set slowly behind the mountains. "We answered the cry for help," Leo said softly, "and in doing so, we found unity." Mira smiled. "Together, we can face any challenge." Ral nodded. "Our home is safe, our future is bright." The Aurora crew and the Cora people had created more than a defense. They had built a bond of friendship and hope that would last across the stars. The morning sun rose gently over the rebuilt city. Soft light spread across the streets where humans and Cora walked side by side. The sound of laughter and work filled the air. The once broken planet was alive again. Full of hope and promise. Captain Leo stood on the balcony of the Aurora, looking out at the peaceful world below. The red sun painted the sky with warm colors. Around him, the ship's crew and the Cora people prepared for a new day. Mira joined him, holding a small plant she had been caring for. "Look how it grows," she said softly. "Just like this planet." Leo smiled. "Yes, it is a new beginning for everyone here." The last years had been hard and full of danger. The Mara had threatened to destroy the Cora world, but thanks to courage and unity, they were stopped. Earth had sent reinforcements, and the alliance between humans and Cora had grown strong. Ral and Sarah came to join them on the balcony. Ral looked out over the city with pride. "Our people have never been stronger. We owe this to you and your crew." Sarah smiled kindly. "Together, we saved our home." Leo nodded. "Humanity will always answer a cry for help. It is who we are." Inside the city, new buildings rose among the old ruins, gardens bloomed, and children played freely. The Aurora had become a symbol of hope and friendship, a reminder that even in the darkest times, light could shine. The Alliance worked to build a future of peace. Scientists from Earth and the Cora shared knowledge, creating new technology to improve life. Artists painted murals telling the story of the battle and the friendship that followed. One day, Leo called a gathering in the city square. People from all races came together, their faces bright with hope. Leo spoke to the crowd. "We answered a cry for help from across the stars," he said. "We faced danger and fear, but we stood together. This is the power of unity. This is the future we will build." The crowd cheered, voices rising in celebration. Children waved flags that showed the symbols of both Earth and the Korra. Mira looked around, her heart full. This is more than a mission. It is a new family. Ral added, our world was saved not by weapons alone, but by courage and friendship. As the sun set, Leo looked once more at the stars. The vast universe stretched out before them, full of unknown worlds and new chances. We will keep watching, he said quietly. We will answer any call for help. Humanity's place is in the stars, not just as explorers, but as protectors and friends. Mira smiled, and we will do it together. The new dawn had come, from the cry for help that echoed across space. Humanity answered not just with power, but with heart. Together, they stepped into the future, ready for whatever the universe would bring.